All right, here we go. We are here with Caz Caroline today. How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, good, thanks.
I'm going to ask you a couple of questions today just to get an idea about how you've found the push program so far and the results you've got and so forth. So, Kaz, let's dive straight into it. What were you struggling with, before you started with our push online coaching program?
My biggest thing for me was probably consistency. I had a personal trainer and that I was seeing maybe a few times a week, but it was more getting into the gym and doing things other times. Like if I didn't have a PT session, I found it really easy to sort of not bother, and I just didn't have the same sort of. I had my focus on what I wanted to achieve was pretty much why I'd done all these things in the past, like all these weight loss programs and things. It was just basically focused on the end result, not so much the process, and also the other things, that the other benefits that you get, rather than just being a particular dress size. Actually understanding that there's so much more to it than that, and when you can get to that point, that's when you really start to make changes.
That's amazing. Yeah. So the psychological shift has been more of a surprise than the physical, or what?
Yeah, well, I mean, the physical shift, I mean, has been amazing as well. Like I'm probably weighing, I'm not exactly the lightest I've ever been on the scales, but I've never been stronger or had more definition or anything than I have right now. And I'm actually, the funny thing is I'm actually a similar dress size to was when I probably weighed good 15 or so kilo less. So, go figure. It just shows that my whole body composition has just changed.
Yeah, it's so important, and that's obviously something we encourage with our mums is to focus on. We focus on measurements, photos, and clothing, right? Dress sizes. That's what we focus on. We can't ignore the weight, but we certainly don't focus on it because, like you said, you're a similar dress size to what you were before you were even strong and toned, like when you were just trying to get skinny, right?
Pretty much. Like, I mean, I got down to a size 10. I think I was probably 70 kilos, and I'm 20 kilos heavier, and I'm probably a size 12. So, and the reason why I'm not a size 10 is because my guns are too big to fit in to those little dresses.
Building strong moms, that's what we're doing. Not interested in building skinny moms, that's for sure. And the only reason I say that for anyone listening is because like skinny's not going to keep a result, whereas strong and toned will keep a result. So, Kaz, what made you want to join the program initially?
I just think I was at a point where I'd been doing the same sort of thing for a while, and I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted. Like, I was looking more to get more muscle, and I actually wanted a lean sort of athletic physique rather than just being slim. I was beyond that point. And I knew that what I was doing wasn't getting me there, even if I was doing personal training 3 times a week and on, ridiculous, restrictive diets. It just wasn't working, and I just didn't feel. I just felt that I needed to shake it up a little bit. So that's when I was on Facebook, and I think it was in a group. I actually saw the link to Push, and I thought, well, this sounds sort of more like something that I would enjoy, because I actually really love my training. Like now I couldn't imagine going back to the old me where it was, I'd do maybe 1 or 2 sessions a week and then I'd go weeks without training. I just couldn't imagine being that person again.
Amazing. What was your exact goal when you started out, or 1 or 2 goals?
Well, when I started with Push, it was basically, I mean, I always used to be obsessed with the number on the scales, whereas when I joined Push, it was more about changing my body composition, not really caring about what the scale says. Like now I rarely go on them because I know that I'm just going to jump on and be disappointed, but I don't really care what they have to say anyway. As I said, my main thing at the moment is my clothes, my measuring tape and photos that I rely on for feedback on how I'm progressing.
Is there specific dress sizes that you've shifted in? Obviously, you say in the measuring tape and the dress sizes. Can we quantify that?
Yeah, well, I mean, before I started Push, I think I was pushing a size 18 in some things. I actually still have some size 18s in my closet, which I really should get rid of because there's no way in hell I'm going back there.
Yeah, you won't need
And
that
as I said, I did get down to a size 10 when I was doing these sorts of crazy cardio restrictive things, but I'm not a size 10. I know that my build is, I'm too broad. I'm too broad across the back, and that to ever be to be able to fit into a size 10. I'm cool with that. Like a size 12 for me is great. Like I feel strong. I feel healthy, but still lean. Like I don't obsess over a dress size like I used to. Like I always used to be like, oh, you know, it has to have this label and for me to feel good. Now I'm like, I don't give a crap. You know, some stores I'll even be bigger. It just depends on which shop. But generally standard, I can just buy a size 12 online and know that it will arrive and it will fit me. So it's great.
Amazing. So 3 dress sizes. So how's that? How do you feel now?
Yeah, I feel amazing. Like I had a big cull through my wardrobe and got all my big, you know, flouncy, mumsy tops that I wore. I still had maternity clothes in there, for God's sakes. They all went, I don't even know where they ended up, probably in a rag bag somewhere. I just threw them all out because I'm like, I'm never going back here. You know, I'll hang on to a few bits and pieces that I may get into eventually, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I feel really good right now.
Amazing. You just frozen there. I'll just wait for you to come back. That's it. I think I've got you now. Cool. So a strong and healthy size 12 versus an unhealthy size 10. We all know which one we would choose, but it's so easy to get lost in chasing that the smallest possible, the slimmest possible, and that's going to resonate a lot with mums watching this. So, what else have you tried before pushing out to really get a body you loved?
Geez, what haven't I tried? I think I've done it. I think I've done them all. I think I've done Weight Watchers, Michelle Bridges, keto, paleo, low carb, no carb, you know, OptiSlim.
I get the idea. I get the gist.
I haven't done isogenics. I know that's your favorite, but I haven't done.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Mate, we're trying to keep this to under 10 minutes, so there's no way you're going to be able to list everything you've tried. So,
yeah,
get the point. Cool, mate. What aspect of the program have you enjoyed the most, you know, in terms of what would it be? Training, nutrition, mindset, you know, what's been the most enjoyable?
I think everything, like obviously the training's a big one for me. I love the training. I was always on the pin loaded side of the gym, and now I'm never in there. I'm just in the free weights with the blokes, which I love. I feel so much stronger, and you know, I barely get injured, touch wood, or any niggles or anything since I've been doing the compound type stuff, which I love. So that's probably the main one for me, but also the support and just the group. Like you're part of a group. You're not just some random number in a big sea of people. Like, you know, everyone on the program sort of knows each other, and there's always people posting what they're up to and that. So there's that sort of sense of community, which most other programs just don't have that. So that's the main thing that sticks out from anything, you know. And plus, I think the training and the nutrition advice, and that's far superior. Like most people, it's like a one size fits all, where it's not like that. There's, you know, you've got the stages and everyone's on different calorie levels depending on their requirements. So it's a lot more customized.
Yeah. And we always like to be as open and honest as possible on push. And I know a lot of the reason, you know, we bring in the right type of person is because we're literally an open book. So with that in mind, you know, what have you found the most challenging? Because it's not always sunshine and roses, is it? These journeys are really hard. So what have you found the most challenging on your journey with us?
Sometimes I guess the most challenging thing is it's the levels of sort of like accountability. If anything, like there's things that sometimes they're hard to get done, like, you know, when we have these challenges, like things like the morning shift and that, it's just sort of setting new habits. I think like those things are like really beneficial, but it's just like introducing anything new. You've got to do it for a little while before it becomes a habit that you just do. That's probably the main thing for me. Like, I'm happy to implement new things, but sometimes for me it just takes a little while for it to get ingrained and become second nature. Like my training, like when I started I wasn't training consistently. Now I am. Now it's like a non-negotiable. So it's sometimes I struggle a bit getting to that point, but you know, it's like everything, you've just got to work at it until you get there.
Yeah, so like just obviously being pushed out of your comfort zone a lot, like we do with our mums is probably been, is that what you mean, like the most challenging part? the stuff that we get you guys to do, implement, and constantly pushing you.
Yeah, like, you know, when you do all your onboarding and everything and doing all that, like a lot of programs don't have that. They just say, here's your meal plan, here's your training, off you go. Like, they don't actually focus on the inside, which, you know, is sometimes can be hard, but it's also really beneficial because that's what helps you change your mindset, basically.
Definitely is, mate. It definitely, I totally understand that. The mindset, I guess, the mindset and routines and habits is the hardest stuff. But it's what we've come to realize, and everyone comes to this realization eventually, is that the physical change is easy compared to the psychological change, especially if you're not bothered about it lasting. Like a short-term fix is super easy, right? Just starve you. But yeah, that's the stuff you're alluding to there, and it's true. Like, I don't want any mum to watch this and think it's an easy journey. Like, and that's why we asked that question. Like, it's not. Some of the shit you guys have to do is really tough. I ask you to dive deep and find the root causes and fucking rip them out and address them. So it's very difficult. So I totally understand that, mate. So final question, what would you say to anyone thinking about jumping in, working under myself and jumping into the crew of awesome mums we've got here?
Sorry, what was that? What would I say?
Yeah, what would you say to someone on the fence, thinking about jumping in and joining us on this journey to transform their own lives?
Jeez, I'd say don't, just jump in. Like, seriously, you won't regret it if you're willing to put the work in. You'll just, what you get out of it is just so much more. Seriously, I don't think anyone who's come aboard the program ever regrets pushing that button on Facebook to book a chat, because seriously, it's, I know I don't. I never looked back once and regretted at all. Like, this program has changed me as a person. It's changed the way I train, the way I approach food. It's got me out of some really toxic mindsets of approaching training and nutrition. Like, I'm sort of studying to be a PT now, and I just feel that I'm in the right sort of headspace to actually be a good PT rather than just someone who's peddling supplements and bullshit.
Love it. Love it, mate. Yeah, your transition's been fucking phenomenal, dude. It's been an absolute pleasure to witness. So thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it, Caz. And let's keep on to your next goals and keep smashing them.
Yep, no worries.
All right, legend.